How different are the playoffs from the regular season, and what coaching adjustments do you make based on that?
Well, the big difference is that you have more prep time. You generally have a little more time in between games. Now, we don't know if we're going to play Saturday, Monday, or Saturday, Tuesday. It seems likely to me that we would play Saturday, Tuesday, because in the first round with 7 games, the series tend to be stretched out a little bit like that. But look, the adjustments come, in many forms. They can come in the form of coverages. They can come in the form of matchups, how you do rotations, how you do lineups, things like that. But getting cute is not the way to win a playoff series. Doing the basic things at a high level is the biggest part of it. And then you've got to do a lot of little things very, very well.
Is when you get into the playoffs, do you have something in reserve that you're saving that the Clippers haven't seen, or is this something that, hey, we are what we are, we're going to go forward and be who we are, or is it something that, I'm going to figure out something in practice, and this is how we're going to maybe adjust and save something throughout this series?
Well, one interesting factor is that, we played these guys 3 times. So game 1 out there, Kawhi Leonard didn't play. He had gotten hit in the face in a game, I think 2 nights earlier against Denver. We started off 0-2. We came out like gangbusters and had a great game. All right, so game 2, they had pretty much everybody playing. Well, they had Lou Williams playing, and they had they had Kawhi, they had Paul George, and all those guys. And then game 3, we were able to win game 3. It was a very competitive game. But since then, they've made the trade. Lou Williams is not with them now. Now they have Rondo, who is, it gives them, a high-level defender, a great competitor, and a guy that's a great leader on the floor. We haven't seen their team with Rondo. They haven't seen our team, I don't think, with all of our guys. But look, we're gonna try to have some things ready that will help us. But as much as kind of the cloak and dagger notion that you can come up with some secret potion to win a series, it so much of this comes down to how well you do the basics, and can you gain small edges, with execution at the end of quarters, with free throw blockout, with a lot of those little things. And, those are the kinds of things that we're really going to be working on this week.
Hey, Rick, our fan text machine is reacting to you complimenting former Maverick Rajon Rondo a couple of times here. It didn't end great. Some fans resent him, but it sounds like you have great respect for him.
I have great respect for him. He's been very respectful of both the Mavericks organization and me, since he left. I always go out of my way to say hello to him whenever, we cross paths. I talked to him a couple of times in the bubble. Sometimes things just don't work. But look, this guy's one of the greatest competitors in the history of our game. He's a Hall of Fame competitor. I don't think anybody would deny that. You look what he did for the Lakers last year. I mean, he was one of the reasons that they got over the top, and that's the reason the Clippers went after him, and they were smart to do it. And so he'll add another competitive aspect to this series, and it's going to be another thing that heightens the challenge, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Do you feel pressure to advance for the first time in a decade?
Hey, listen, playoffs is all about the opportunity, to move on, but it's 7 games. It's got to be very much a process-oriented thing. We're a championship organization, and we're looking to get better each year. So I think the answer is obvious that we feel it's important to keep moving in the right direction. This is a tough series, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Rick Carlisle here with you in the GBag Nation. Do you expect it to get chippy again?
Playoff series in the NBA almost always do in some way, shape, or form, but that's okay. I think it's one of the great things about this time of year is the level of meaning that these games have and that these series have, and this is a great opportunity for us, to step up into this stage and compete at the highest possible level that we can.
Coach, in playoff time, we always, and I don't know if it's cliche to say, you talk about shortening your benches and stuff like that, but you needed every single guy you had all season long. How difficult is that, in fact, if you're thinking about maybe shortening your bench, or are you thinking, man, I've got to play all these cats and try and get this thing home?
Well, all year we've been a strength in numbers outfit. When we had the big period where we were missing 4 of our top 7, with COVID, we had a lot of guys that had to step up. And in the last 2 weeks, you've seen, Josh Green, who has really just been a guy that has just busted his butt to stay ready. He earned minutes. He had that big game at Miami. And had a couple other good games where he's just, playing hard, bringing energy, and just doing a lot of, things that are creating winning plays. And look, our depth is big. Marjanovic has been our, 3rd or 4th center, depending on how you're looking at our roster and depending on who's starting at the time. And there's, we're going to have to look for, where the opportunities are to play him, because he's proven to be a guy that can be a difference maker. But to answer your question, generally, rotations do shorten up some. You have national TV games. You have 3.5-minute timeouts instead of 2.5-minute timeouts. The games are longer. It seems like the pauses are longer. And so you can afford to play guys longer minutes, but we need all our guys to be ready, obviously.